Without further delay, we are going to go right into the heart of this topic, which is Microsoft becoming a third-party publisher, and that's it. So I had a couple of epiphanies. I don't want to delay it with all these um, pleasantries and anything like that. So I wrote some notes down. I don't want you guys to, be. I don't want to disrespect your time, essentially. So as you know, I had a video about this a couple days ago. Microsoft bought Bethesda, or whatever the parent company of Bethesda was, right? So there's been talks about you know the reasoning as to why they bought why they bought it in the first place. Because a lot of the times, if you're successful, you don't want to be bought, or you don't want another company to be a Captain Saberho. And that's what this essentially is. So there were insiders regarding the Microsoft acquisition of Bethesda and its parent company, and they were talking about, you know, Bethesda actually wanted to be sold. One of the reasons why is, Doom Eternal, Prey 2, Wolfenstein, Dishonored 2, Fallout. All of them underperformed. All of them underperformed. I mean, I know that's relative, but relative to the company and what they consider, underperforming. But, you go from Skyrim to Fallout, and you have a lot of backlash. There was a lot of lies going on with Bethesda too. There were like special editions, and they didn't fulfill their promise with the Fallout, swag and all this other stuff. I mean, to be honest with you, seems like Bethesda and Microsoft. It seems like a match made in heaven, to be perfectly honest. If you ask me about this shit, right? But you're not asking me, so there's that. um, so yeah, Bethesda wanted to be sold. Actually, their shareholders specifically wanted somebody to buy them. You know what I mean? And they were saying that Bethesda, made out great with that. I said this before, and I stick by it. I think that Microsoft overpaid, to be honest with you. But another thing that came out too, with this acquisition, is that if your expensive game doesn't sell, it might be bye bye time. So yes, they are paying for the IPs, really. But if you're not a good developer, or if you continue to be lackluster like Bethesda has been, the last great game that they've made was Skyrim. You know what I mean? I mean, there's the designer, I guess, that had some quality too, but it was marred by, microtransactions and just stupid shit. Doom also was a high quality product. But again, people are not looking for that. So that's the thing. That is the thing. The problem is that Microsoft just doesn't know how to cultivate their talent. They don't know how to, really help them. And there was arguments about, well, Sony, don't act like Sony didn't buy their, buy developers either because they didn't have anything. Well, I asked you to take a look at Exhibit A. Guerrilla Games was absolute shit. Unproven and very cheap. Sony picked them up way before they had any kind of pedigree at all and cultivated them. Naughty Dog was doing simple ass games, cultivated them as well. You know what I mean? Santa Monica Studios was also a small developer that did stuff like War of the Worlds and those things. And Sony actually cultivated them, and they made one of the best games this generation, which was the God of War. Sony definitely has the groove and definitely cultivates talent. You gotta look at, Death Stranding, and regardless of what you say about Death Stranding, it wouldn't have been done anywhere else. That's the key here. You know what I mean? You also gotta look at it like this too. Quality is subjective. So if people say that Bethesda had some quality games, and then now that's under Microsoft, so now that automatically by extension means that Microsoft has the quality games as well. Again, they don't cultivate their talent. Just look at what they did with 343, the Coalition, Turn 10. And let's not forget, Turn 10 had a crazy debacle at the beginning of the generation where they had microtransactions and less features than the previous generation. A lot of the things that people liked about Forza was missing in this, and you had to basically piecemeal your fucking game over time. So that's the type of company, Microsoft is. Shit, even look at Rare. What I mean, okay, Sea of Thieves, and that was undone too. That was incomplete, rather, unfinished, rather. And they were going to try to microtransaction that shit until everybody stopped them. So you got to ask yourself, what the fuck was what were they doing? What is the end game here? And that's what I was kind of pondering upon when I was working. Why would you spend $7.5 billion? And to be honest with you, I think I got it. I got why they are doing it. This is Microsoft's exit strategy. There were so many checks with this system. You know what I mean? There's a lot of fail safes. There's a lot of preparation to make sure that they're not going to lose $7.5 billion. And the reasoning for this purchase that I can see logistically is for Microsoft to become, if all else fails, a third-party publisher. I mean, all of the writing is on the walls for this shit to happen anyway. They don't want to. They're not controlling Bethesda and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's one of those things where it's like, it makes you go, is that what's really going on with this? And that's what I believe. That's what's going on with this shit. So if Game Pass doesn't work, and trust and believe, they cut shit off quick. You gotta look at it like this. Mixer, Zoom, Nokia, Xbox, what else the fuck did they cut off? They'll cut that shit quick. They'll cut it off if it's not going to sell. And they'll do it again. There's been talks about as well. So Microsoft is going to buy Sega. Once again with the cultivation and them trying to, be that publisher, and they just don't have the pedigree. After all 3 generations you've been in this generation, I mean, in this game and industry, what do you have to show for it but Live, Xbox Live? What do you have to show for it? Live and Halo, 3 generations. What does Sony have to show for their time for just the 3 generations? Uncharted, The Last of Us, God of War, Shadow of the Colossus. The list goes on and on and on. This is what I mean. I know all companies are about their money. I get it. But they really are about their fucking money. And they're looking to gouge the shit out of you. So going back on topic. So that's how I see it. You gotta look at it like this, right? For Game Pass. Game Pass, if they say they have 15 million people under Game Pass, which is not really profitable, by the way. You're not trying to make millions, you're trying to make billions. And especially a few million. If 15 million people bought Game Pass, and for $15, that's $2.7 billion at the end of the year, annually. That's not including the overhead for getting other publishers and getting other IPs to be day and date. That's going to cost a lot of fucking money. So there's that. And that's the best case scenario. There's not 15 million people that have purchased this shit. You know what I'm saying? And purchase it for $15. That's number one. Let me check my other notes here. So again, if the Game Pass doesn't work, they can always recoup their money by being a publisher. They can put their shit on PlayStation and then get $70 worth of, charge the game for $70 and whatever goes on behind the scenes with that one. So you can clearly see what the fuck's going on with that one. And it's a smart move. One avenue is, again, the Game Pass actually works, and then you show that your product is superior by, having it day and date for $15 versus other platforms for $70. So that it kind of, by extension, it's genius, really. People will start to flock over there. Cool. Or if it does fail, which I believe it'll fail, you could be a publisher and not have to deal with consoles or anything else. This is by far the last generation of Microsoft. I guarantee you, as a console creator. They're going to be a publisher. I don't know who's going to put their fill in their place. Maybe they'll make like a quick ass system, but they're going to be a publisher after this generation. So, you gotta look at shit like that. It's that's what I see it. And in order for this to be completely profitable, you're going to need to have microtransactions within the games. And to be honest with you, Bethesda's goals aligns perfectly with Microsoft's. All of their games are most of their games, almost all of them are RPGs that you can use microtransactions for. You can buy packs and experience points and shit like that. It's all a part of the plan. You know what I mean? So if you're going to pay $15, you're going to still buy microtransactions for that to work. That's number one. So one of the things I want to say, by the way, too, Bethesda had a game launcher as well, and that didn't do shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but my question here is: there's a lot of doom and gloom with Sony and Sony fans. And again, I will say this: be prepared. Be prepared for Microsoft to buy Sega. I'm just saying. Tomorrow, the 23rd, I believe is probably going to buy. They're going to buy Sega. That's what I believe. They've been working with. See, they worked with Bethesda for years and years and years, even with their original Xbox. And they did the same thing with Sega. Sega wanted to make another console, and with the Dreamcast, Microsoft actually helped them out, and then that failed, and then the 360 was also a Sega console, really low key under Microsoft. But I digress, because we don't have that much time to be talking about this shit. So the doom and gloom about Sony and the PlayStation, you know what I mean? Bethesda tried to do their own shit, but their quality is just not where it belongs. They had a launcher that didn't make any dent. You know what I mean? So did Microsoft. They have their store that's not working. Starfield is fucking years away. Years away. Elder Scrolls 6 is even further. You know what I'm saying? Bethesda's tech is just total. They could have easily used its software shit. But who knows how friendly it is. Or shit, they could even do Unreal 5. You know what I mean? UE5. We don't know, but their technology is just shit. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why people are like, I don't want Microsoft to buy any more shit is because they have a legitimate fear. Like I said before, Microsoft tend to fuck a lot of things up once they start getting involved. And again, I mentioned Zoom, Mixer, Nokia. They fuck everything up. They just have a lot of fucking money, and they have a lot of residual money because guess what? Companies are using their fucking operating system, which that in itself is shit. Nobody really likes Windows like that. There's a lot of problems with Windows. You know what I'm saying? So, people say this is a W for Microsoft by them buying Bethesda. And again, Bethesda hasn't had a great track record since Skyrim, and even that shit was extremely fucking buggy with the backwards moonwalking dragon and all sorts of stupid shit that goes along with it. You know what I mean? Total fuck ups. Yes, their IPs are very valuable, and if Microsoft can cultivate them and quality check them, then it'll be great for Game Pass. Or if it all else fails, they'll be a publisher, point blank. I just look at it, and I don't know how the people can say it's a win. To be honest with you, Microsoft has spent 3 generations, going on 4 generations. Let me see, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and then Xbox Series. 4 generations before they decided to fucking make purchases and take the gaming sector seriously. 4 generations. 4 generations. And all they can muster up is just fucking strong arming the industry by purchasing Bethesda, which themselves have quality issues. So Microsoft is really playing catch up, to be perfectly honest with you. They're playing catch up with all their IPs and stuff like that. I mean, I get it. They don't have time to be cultivating, so you just buy the motherfuckers. But again, they're playing catch up. And again, Bethesda stuff is not really quality checked. There's a lot of issues with it. And fucking dislike my video all you want. The truth is the truth. You know what I'm saying? Sony, on the other hand, um, cultivated their shit. So did Nintendo. Both of them cultivated their shit. It's the reason why fucking Animal Crossing is selling the way that it does. Splatoon and Zelda. They are beloved IPs, and people are willing to fucking spend money. The fucking old ass 1996 game is fucking selling out on Amazon and top sellers, regardless if it was special edition or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's still selling. It's whooping ass, to be perfectly honest. That's the thing, right? Right? So you just can't get the quality anywhere. They sit there and they built their empire. I mean, I'm replaying God of War right now, and the storyline is beyond top notch. I had more fun playing and enjoying the story than any Marvel fucking movie. I mean, the richness of the story of Horizon Zero Dawn and The Last of Us and all those games is just unmatched. Unmatched. They got they're cut out for what they do. Sony and the quality, and people are paying for it. They want to pay for it because you can't get it anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So you got to ask yourself the question. I mean, do you really want Sony or Nintendo, for the matter, to have their own Game Pass? Remember, Game Pass is not profitable, so they're going to have to subsidize their money somewhere else. You know what I mean? That's the problem. That is the $1 million or the $7.5 billion question.
I like this one.